experiment. I'll tell you
Okay,
later.
I don't know the topic of the show, but I saw the thumbnail and I approve.
Is that a good thumbnail or what?
What
I
is that
enjoyed it.
from? I couldn't think of
It
where that is
it's
from.
Dragnet. I think missed it by that.
Oh,
The two guys from Dragnet, where I had one of them sold a bunch of money, and the other guy, because they're talking about the criminal, they missed it by that much. And I put my head on one and hit him on the other one.
But he used my cartoon head, which is
Right.
it makes it more funny.
I wish I had a cartoon head of me. I need to. I bet you know what I should have done. I'm an idiot. I should have gone and made AI make me a head.
So the artist who
would
drew
have
that
3
was
years.
Fred. The artist who drew that is Fred Dunn. He's from Canada. He is suffering with cancer right now, and I don't. I could probably commission something, but I'm not sure if he'd be able to do it. He's
Now I'm gonna go
having
on
he's
AI
struggling.
until AI. I'll figure out something. I should have put my logo head on there. That's what I should have done. Hey, Tracy's right. Hit a thumbs up. More people should know about the show. We give out good. If you can get through all the banter, that guy back there who says we tell too many stories. And do I have a story for next week?
I've already forgotten that guy's name.
I, I, I have a story for next week, folks, that you're not going to want to miss. You're going to want to tune in for next week. There's probably going to be a video out before then, but you can laugh with me and talk bad about me and all that stuff next week. And I apologize for mowing the grass right now.
Can you mow mine while
Feeling
you're at
better
it?
today.
Hey, it's mind control. Mow the grass.
My wife and I were talking about mowing the grass yesterday, and our neighbor has one of those Cobalt electric mowers. It's really nice. I mean, they're really super lightweight. I said next mower maybe we'll try an electric because the battery technology nowadays it's pretty good. And then she says, "Nope, I want a robot mower." So our next mower has to be a robot. So neither one of us have to go out there and do it.
Yeah. So one of the guys I watch on TikTok, Nate something, he's got one and he absolutely loves it. He lives like off grid, and so it keeps the yard mowed and puts himself up. He gave it a name. He put some of those little googly eyes on it and gave it a name. So the lawnmower's riding around the yard. It's got little eyes that are it's kind of creepy. But
Like, what's to stop it from mowing the neighbor's yard? I'm sure there's controls that you
put
have.
boundaries or whatever up. I think it can only go so
Yeah,
far.
I think you map it just like the vacuums at your house.
I've never had one of those either, so I don't know.
I had one, but I sold it. New. I mean, I bought it to sell on Amazon years ago, and I just sold it last week.
Joni's proud that she found this shirt lag.
Wait, whoa.
This was
Lag
one of
Oh my
my.
says
gosh, I just realized what it was.
Lag says they found a dead Bigfoot. It's all over the news. I gotta go look this up now. I bet you I already know the story.
Yeah, so Joni
The
thought
guy who's behind it is named Rick Dyer. I'm not seeing any dead Bigfoot news.
the government knows everything. I'm telling you right now, the government is protecting the Bigfoot.
That is a cute shirt, Scott.
Yeah. So
I like it.
So I was trying to think of stuff that is reselling, current, and people continue to talk about the summer slowdown and that kind of stuff. And so I was like, you know what? Let's make a list of small things that somebody can do that they can get immediate results. The offer still stands. Holy hell! Okay, not anymore.
Steve, read the chat.
Well, I think Lag was lying to me, is what I think.
He said, "Got him."
Well, those stories come out every once in a while, but I usually know who's behind them, and I wanted to see if that was the case, and then
Okay.
And so I
too early for
the title of the show is 5 Small Things to Do to Increase Sales. And it's a lot of the same stuff we talked about, but I wanted to put it in a concise little area that we can talk about each one. And then, of course, I went all the way to 9. So instead of being 5, y'all get 4 bonuses this morning. For tuning in and hitting the thumbs up button, you get the bonus 4, which is awesome, right? So as most of you know, I'm focusing more on eBay than Amazon. Just do not. I'm tired of the one thing about being an Amazon seller is you wake up every morning. Steve will tell you this. You wake up every morning in fear that today's the day the bot got you. For whatever reason, there are so many rules you don't know about, or they could, God forbid, they connect your account to somebody else's across the country for whatever reason. It happens. If you don't believe me, that the connect accounts get suspended. So one of Rakin's buddies, this is not anything about Steve Rakin. I like Steve Rakin. He does a good job of telling people about reselling. One of his buddies that he hangs out with a lot got his account suspended. And his account, so he had 4 accounts. They all got suspended. Because, and he's got a video out, so I'm not putting anything new, but the point that he misses is he made in 2019 or 20, he made the extra accounts. And so he was selling books on all of them. So normally the rules for having 2 Amazon accounts are you can't sell the same items. But how do you, okay, so if I'm selling toys on one and kitchen supplies on the other, nothing wrong. You'll never have any problems. Everything will be great. But books are a different animal. Books are, well, I didn't sell the exact same book, but then why do you need 2 accounts to sell books? Books are books.
Yeah, I don't know.
He mentions that he created the extra accounts to sell books in order to get around the restock limits. And that is, and see, Sue immediately gets it. If you do anything on Amazon to get around their rules, they hate that. So if you do, they will allow you to do things. They'll give you enough rope to hang you a lot of times. And so he had 4 accounts that were all selling books, and he was getting more. He was getting more storage and more everything for all his books. And so they not only suspended his 4, but they suspended 17 related accounts.
Holy cow!
His mother's account gone. Business partner gone. I mean, everybody around him. Basically, anybody they can connect, or it's probably anybody he logged into their Wi-Fi. I would guess. And so you get tired of that. Is this going to be you're going to wake up this morning and something's going to happen? Because not everybody, 100%, not everybody follows rules 100%. Even still grumpy over there in the corner, who's making noise or something's coming through his screen, doesn't follow every rule. You can't.
Yeah.
It's
Probably
really
my air.
So I really, and the thing that I've talked about it a lot. I love the hunting. I love the fun. I love the digging. I love the finding this stuff. And that's really eBay. That's really the items. So, am I still going to sell books and DVDs on Amazon? Absolutely. Am I still going to sell new toys on Amazon? But I want them to flip flop. I want eBay to be 65%. I want Amazon to be 35%. Instead of the other way around. And so, I'm putting plans into place. So the 5 things you can do and I've been using some of these, and I can 100% over the years know they work. First thing, let me get a link. You got to get more eyes on your product. That's the name of the game in any platform. And so there is I found it through another reseller, which I didn't know it existed. It's called Flip, FLYP. It's a free cross listing service. So let me get you. It's free, but let me get you an affiliate link real quick. It's I'll put it in the chat. It is free to use. It's very easy, very simple. I've been using it. It'll list to eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari, which I made a Mercari account just to cross list to. And there's a 5th one, but
Bonanza?
I don't know.
Oh.
I can't remember. But it's absolutely easy to use.
And will it delete? Okay, so like you sell it on eBay, it'll delete it on Mercari.
Not none of the cross listings that I know of. There's the link. None of the cross listings that I know do it automatically.
Okay.
So I had a calculator on eBay yesterday sell, and so it was also on Poshmark. And so whenever you import stuff and you cross list it, it puts it in on Flip called My Items. I just went to My Items and put mark as sold. When you mark it as sold, it delists it for you.
Oh, very cool. That's
So it was very easy. And so the difference between it and List Perfectly is List Perfectly would do bulk, and this one you do it one at a time, which I kind of like the one at a time because if something sells, I personally know that I listed it, so I know to take it down. But if you bulk list them all, you're going to be wondering, well, did I really do that? So,
Right.
So more eyes on a product, so more means more. I told you I don't sell clothes, but I've got a Poshmark account now that I sell on, and I've sold 3 or 4 items. Very easy. I've also opened Macari, so you've got to, if you want to sell items, first things first is you got to get eyes on it. So Tracy said Flip is awesome. She's used Flip, so yeah, you got feedback or something going there, Grumpy.
Not me today.
No, it's not you today. Yours is perfect.
It's always
So I always get feedback if I don't have my headphones in, so I always put them in. It's that spacious room that John's in, is what it is.
Right, it's the piano
going off the wall.
Passing off the piano. Yeah. But that's the name of the game. How do you get eyes on? So you can. So John would tell you the way he gets eyes on the products is, he's an Amazon seller. He is a master at pay-per-click. He early on figured out how to use pay-per-click. So what?
Better
so far.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump back before you get into the pay-per-click and all that. Keep your eyes on Amazon for you cross listeners. They have a program called BBEQO. It is a shipping program to start with. They will ship your eBay packages at their rates.
So I was going to get to
They are a cross-platform beginning. They are going to become a logistics company like these other softwares. They are getting away from the Amazon-only mindset. They are starting to switch to a logistics company. I've called it for a long time. I still believe it. And in 10 years, Amazon will not be selling on their platform. They will be strictly logistics.
Okay, so I've looked into the Vidu is what it's called. So the one thing I can tell you too is if you pay for the service, which there's some things they'll do, I believe it is one of the few that will delist, or it is one of the few that I can find that will delist for you, Sue. Because it puts your inventory in, it connects to your account. The young whiz kid Jacob King was telling me about it. I'll investigate it this week and we can talk about it next week just to see how it works, even if I need to sign up for it to try it out. Because that's the game changer for cross listing, is a program that has access to all of your accounts, that knows if it sells here, you take it off everywhere. Or if you've got 5 of them, it reduces the quantity of 4 across the board if you sell one. I would never let Amazon know what my other stores lag. Don't kid yourself to think they don't know. They're a data company. They have a lot of access, a lot of information, including hosting. They host a lot of the sites that you sell on. They put 2 and 2 together. This is.
I was always a little worried when Joey would come here and we'd work. We'd go sourcing, or I'd go to his house, or we'd go together out of town and source, that we would be using the same IP. But nothing ever happened with that. But
Javis, use my link for the Supply Hut bubble mailers. That's the only ones I ever use. They're fine. There's like any other bubble mailer, except they're the cheapest ones you can find. I've been buying them for, I think it's like $27. You get 200 of the 8.5 by 11s or whatever they are. That's the one I buy. I mail all my DVDs and stuff out in those. And no, I didn't count them because I refuse to count on them.
I'm still using my Walmart ones.
Well, I had bought a huge amount at Uline when I was still doing Amazon, but mine are like I want to say 12 by 8, which I use for a lot of things.
Oh, Lag's here today?
What do you want to know
Mike's
about them?
here every day except once.
I don't know. I don't know. I got them blocked.
They're just bubble mailers.
Yeah, that looks way bigger than the one I use, but
The other thing,
Code bearded there, but James, all you gotta do. Oh, wait a minute. You want a banner for that to remind you? Okay, there you go.
Flipping Goodies already using VQ. It is a very powerful program that's going to just continue to grow because I've said it for years. Amazon does not want to sell any products. They could care less about selling products. They are giving you smoke and mirrors for the logistics company, which is coming. It's the same thing as Elon Musk saying he bought Twitter for freedom of speech. That's total bullshit. He bought Twitter for one thing, the database behind it, because the man knows in the future data is the key.
John, he's come out and said what he bought it for. Now he's sort of let the cat out of the bag. When he changed it to X, he's had X as the domain for a long time. He bought Twitter to mirror the Chinese program for payment services. There's a program in China that everybody runs their money through and runs. It's social media, it's payment services. Because if you listen to him, he'll tell you over and over. He'll tell you he wished he never got out of payment services. He wished he never got out of PayPal because of what he could have built PayPal into. He said
That's a residual, but it starts with the data.
Right. But he wants to build that into a platform that is.
Ask him if he wants to sell another car. He could care less about selling Teslas. What he wants is that computer brain of data that's sent back to Tesla from every Tesla car on the road.
So there's the brain himself. WeChat in China. We do some reading about WeChat in China. If you want to see where X is going, he is going to model that and bring that to here.
But it's data driven. He knows the money's in the data. He knows it. He's much smarter than any of us could ever be.
So there you. So I want to tell you guys, some of you Amazon sellers are sitting back because why is the beer talking about eBay? I'm tuning out. We talk about all platforms. We try not to limit to one, but the one thing I can tell you, you're sitting there going, beating your chest, going, the beer just lied. I don't believe him. I don't break any rules. I don't follow any rules. If you have ever sold a new item that you picked up retail arbitrage and can't honor the warranty and list it as new, you have broke Amazon's listing rules. Every single time you list an item that you can't honor the warranty, which is most of them, and you sell it as new, you are technically breaking the listing policy on Amazon, and you could lose your account for violation of listing policies.
Yep.
Which I even always wondered that about books too, because like you buy it at the store, you bring it home, you ship it in. Well, you already had it, so it's not really new.
The only time I list books as new if they're still in the shrink wrap. Other than that, I won't list them as new, even if they are. Books is one of those categories that matters a ton.
Mark, you gotta wait. You gotta wait a few weeks, Mark. The DVD fees are going to be changing. You got to remember, Small and Light's date, I think, is like August 17th. That'll be what was the date of the end of Small and Light? Huh?
28th or 29th. It's at the end of the month.
So whatever day that ends, and they roll out the reduced fees for $10 or less for every item, DVDs will become more profitable. But right now, as it stands, if you can't enter them in Small and Light, and so I think the cheapest you've got to get at least $750 or $780 in order to even break even on a DVD if you paid $1 right now.
But how has anybody sat down and tried to take advantage of the small and light leaving?
Not
Take
me.
advantage of it leaving.
Yeah. How are you gonna
Well,
benefit from that change? What I hear is everybody bitching about it being gone and what it does to the fees and that spot of $10 to $12, which is a common price point for profit. How are you going to make money because small and light is leaving? Are you going to ship the products yourself? Are you going to package them differently so that they sell for a higher amount? What are you going to do? What can you do to see when they come out with these changes? One of the things that changed how my business operates is instead of looking at all the reasons that their new program sucks, I see it as them trying to help me improve my business.
Well, I think that one overall helps everybody because so many people weren't participating in it.
It hurts me because now everybody's going to have the same fees. Where before on the small and light, that's how I sold all those pop rocks that year. Nobody knew about small and light that was selling pop rocks.
So it looked like you were losing money, but because you were in a different program, you could go lower than them and still make money.
Yeah, made more money than what they could sell it for.
Small like to kick rocks. All right, so what did we? So that was a lot of talking for getting more eyes.
Who got suspended? All those accounts.
The guy's name is Rome the Roamer. That's his social media name.
Here's the problem with that stuff, and I'm finding it true more and more as I dig into people who have reached out to me for contacting different people that I've been able to make networking with in these higher level positions. You usually don't hear the whole story.
So
There's
usually
a missing piece somewhere.
But he made the video and talked about it. So him and a business partner formed a company called restrictedbooks.com or something where
I've heard of that one.
They would buy your books from you that you couldn't sell, or they would sell them for you and so that was the other reason why he had 4 accounts, because he was trying to run all these books and he didn't have the space for them, but he would send them in so he originally got in problems with McGraw-Hill. McGraw-Hill is one of the more aggressive textbook publishers. And so he got everything straightened out with that. And so they unsuspended 1 account. But the rest of them that were, I don't understand why they won't just do them all. They won't do them all because you got multiple accounts, because they were, his business partner is the one that's still going, but his 4 are suspended because they look at you and deem you're trying to get around the rules.
And he was.
He was. He admitted he was. So
and instead of just saying, okay, it's wrong, he probably tried to do it again in a different way, because now he's stuck with inventory that he can't sell. So he was trying to offload the inventory. There's always more to the story. Do I understand that it's a bitch? Yes, it is a bitch. But I watched a guy go down for Amazon right now has over $1 million of his money because he didn't do the frickin' all that
verification.
Well, they just thanked him and said your account's froze until we get it all. And he's like, they got $1 million of my money. What do I do? I'm like, why didn't you think about that way back in freaking beginning of June when you knew this was coming?
The verification
is it a legitimate account, or is it one he bought or something? Because that's a problem. That's a reason. So Amazon always takes a problem, which is the government says you got to verify, and they took it a step farther and wanted to verify more than they were required, because it was a chance for them to even tighten down on their rules that once we suspend you, you're done. You can't buy accounts. People go, I saw somebody saying, they were quitting Amazon. They're like, you should sell your account. Remember, folks, that's against their rules. The other person is taking. I mean, if you can get your money and walk away, that's fine. But they're
It's not
taking.
against the rules. It's not against the rules to sell an account.
I've read it on their site where it says it is.
It's how you sell the account. It's
You
just
got to
like
sell the entire business, don't you?
it's just like drop shipping, dude.
But the problem they have with it is you can't sell. You're selling the feedback and everything else. The new company is on old company feedback and everything else. They worry
There
about
you
that.
go. There you go. You can sell the account as a complete business.
Yeah, it has to be a complete business.
If somebody came in and bought my business, they can buy my Amazon account with it because all the feedback is for the company as an entity. There's a difference. The way this guy is held up is there was a point in time where if you were a foreign entity, you could set up as an American corporation.
Right.
And but it's very hard to verify because you don't have an American address. And what is one of the verifications that they want? An address.
Right. See, the problem I have with all this too is and one of my bigger problems with Amazon is, and why they have not faced lawsuits over this, is they are one of the most dishonest companies around.
Oh.
They are holding $1 million of this guy's money for what? If you break one of their rules, they're going to hold your money for as long as they can. Oh, but you didn't follow our rules. Some random on the internet accused you of counterfeit, and now they're going to because you won't jump through the hoops and give them exactly what they claim they need from some dude in India who is sharing a house with like 10 people, moving out of the way for trains to go by. That guy that has decided across the country that you don't follow Amazon's rules to get back on, they could keep your money indefinitely until it hits arbitration or whatever they force you into.
It's not even just breaking the rules, though. Joey, my son, his credit card expired, and he didn't up it. And I mean, it only took 2 weeks because he got it at the next payout. But they had almost $500,000 that he missed a payout. And even though he the very next day changed the credit card, all he had to do was change the expiration date because he had gotten a new one and just forgot to do it. And it took 2 more weeks for him to get almost that $500,000.
But if that happens, there is an email address you can email them. Usually within 48 hours, they release your funds on an urgent release, urgent disbursement or something that they have. There are ways around these things if you know the right. As you get bigger as a seller, you make better contacts with inside Amazon.
That's not the way it should work. Just because you sell a lot and I sell a little, there should be no difference. They hold me to the same standard they hold you to, but yet you get benefits I don't because for what reason?
Because I go out there, because I network with the right people. Why can't you get into the companies that I sell for? Because you don't have the network that I have. I didn't break into anything that I didn't get an intro to.
All right, so number 2 is promoted listings. Increase your promoted listing on items that have competition. There's a lot of people out there that believe just having promoted listings, at the very minimum, is better than nothing. But you need to look at where the fees are. So on the last earnings call with eBay disclosed that their sales are down, their traffic is down, their profits are up. It's because of the promoted listings and those kind of fees that they're collecting more fees in order to make themselves look better, even though it's a band-aid on a problem. I've talked about this since promoted listings started, that they were going to use this to make themselves look better. But the one thing you got, so I think Todd, Mr. Reseller and Meredith there is is doing an experiment right now where he raised his up to what 6%, Todd, for this week.
He ain't listening.
He ain't listening. Damn it, Todd. He must be.
His hearing aid fell out.
He must be asleep. All right, so do something. Okay, so not every item needs this. If you've got an item that has two listings out there, promoted listings on it, you're just kind of throwing money away. But if you've got a product that has sold, say 50 on 50 this month, in the last 30 days, and there are 75 out there right now, and you want to sell it faster, promoted listings will get you to the top of the list. So, it's about understanding promoted, not just upping the percentage to up the percentage, but also when you list your items, understanding, looking at what you see on the solds and the completeds, and understand, well, this is a product that might need it. This is a product that doesn't need it.
Yeah, so that fruit and vegetable capsules that I'm selling, I tried to go off of promoted listings, and in a week I didn't sell any. But I turn it back on, and I sell. I'm only putting up 3 at a time because I'm trying to test different things. But when I went to list it yesterday, so I don't have a store. I mean, I just have my eBay account, and my only choice on that one is, the rate that it's going for right now, and it was 18% yesterday. It's usually a 9 to 12. So I've been waiting, I'll wait and check it again today. I don't know. Do you have to have a store to be able to do the set your own?
I'm able to do it, but I have a store.
It's only $25. So why don't you have a store?
I don't know. I mean, I sold $2,500 this month, and I didn't have a store, so I didn't feel like I needed one.
Why don't you have it, Scott? It's like asking you why you don't have a teenager.
But I mean, part of it is I just started, so I was going to see if I really felt like I needed one.
You'll get a few more features with a store. I think the fees are a little bit less, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a
slight
difference. Yeah.
So I started promoted listings on everything 5 days ago, and my monthly average is up 17% for sales.
Shut up, Todd. We don't need the world.
What? You're giving eBay more money.
I know.
The promoted listing thing, though, is we told you over and over, you got to restart them more frequently. Restart them. John's people will restart his every day.
Twice a day. It's proven to work the reset, especially if you're going to use a trending rate, because the trending rate changes so much on hotter items.
My impressions are up 600%.
So David Jarvis just said, you don't know what you're doing. You can change the rate without a store.
Okay, I just have to figure it out. I haven't tried.
Yeah.
But Vintage Memory says you do have to have a store.
All right, they're gonna have to have a battle.
I've had a store for so long, and Scott's had a store for so long, and
yeah. So Josh, you get a 0.5% on your final value fee reduction with a store.
It's not great, but it's something.
Right.
And then you get.
Mr. Sadie said not to feel bad because Craigslist Hunter doesn't have a store either.
Well, if Craigslist Hunter doesn't have it, why do we all have one?
He did a whole video explaining why he doesn't have a store.
Really?
I don't remember what the reason is. But, yeah.
I'll have to go back and look at that. Well, Mark, the problem with that fruit and vegetable thing that I'm selling, I showed it a couple weeks ago. I can go grab another one, but there's so many listings for it, but not just for the original, for all the copycats. So when you try to bring up the name brand, Nature's Balance, Fruit and Veggies, or whatever, all the other listings come up too. And so there's so many listings. That's why I went to promote it on that. But even at the high price I'm paying on it, I paid $12 each for the first set that I bought. So it's basically $25 for the set. And my profit is $28, just the profit.
Yeah,
not counting gas, but everything else.
Mark said, isn't it better to lower your prices and not promote? It's about getting eyes on your product. lowering your price doesn't guarantee you move up in search. If you're promoting at the top or winning to promote it, that guarantees you. If you get a second listing in the search, you're going to get a listing higher up in the search.
It's paying for advertising as well.
Yeah, they're not the same, Mark, and people make that mistake thinking I'll lower my price. I'm not going to. Here's the argument they make. I'm not giving eBay any more money. I'm gonna lower my price. It makes no difference. It's the same.
Aren't you doing? Essentially, you're doing the same thing.
You're essentially doing the same thing, but you're not.
You're losing money either way.
You're not playing by their rules in order to take advantage of their systems, and so that's where the promoted listings and your competition is promoting So if you've got an item and 100 sellers on it, and 30 sellers promote and 70 sellers don't, but I'm gonna lower my price, there's gonna be 30 sellers ahead of you.
Yeah, but this 55-year-old jacket, would it have sold without me starting promoted listings?
Something like that, because it's a one-off, might.
Right, a one-off.
It's a Vietnam.
With proper keywords would do okay.
I had the only one on eBay, anything like it.
It's not one-off. It's not one-off, though.
It's not. Nothing is technically one-off. I mean, it might be one-off, but there's competing products.
Is there a name on the front of it?
No. There's
Well,
Vietnamese writing.
That may be a name. You may want to have that. You may want to Google Lens that Vietnamese writing.
I'm pretty sure Golden Figure Pickers sold one of those when he got.
Is it reversible? Is it reversible? Is it blue on the inside?
No, it's got a nylon lining.
Okay, I have one of those from Korea. And it's my father's, and it's reversible. They were common for servicemen to get. Not many people, the average person wouldn't know about it, but that's from the Vietnam War. Just so you know, that's from a serviceman that was over there. It was common for
it says Vietnam on it.
Google Translate says blessing.
Okay,
probably
blessing.
Right.
So, Mark, Tom Higgins answers your question too. Here's the problem with you will sell some if you lower your price because it will work for a few people, but the search default order and every time you search something different, it goes back to best match, and best match means you're at the mercy of what eBay shows you, and you're at the mercy of the algorithm. If you have customers that hit lowest price, just think about how many times you're looking for something. Do you change that? The problem with changing the search is if I'm looking for XYZ and I hit lowest price, I get parts for XYZ.
That's right.
I don't get the whole product. I don't get what I'm looking for. So they have taught me to quit changing lowest price. eBay doesn't want to sell it, and don't miss this, folks. This is an important point. With eBay or Amazon, they don't want you to sell it for the lowest price. If you sell it on eBay for the lowest price, they make less money. Mm-hmm. So in best match, because you go, if best match, how come lowest price doesn't always win? Because that's not their goal. No matter what you think about price alerts and all that other stuff, they're just out to get me. No, they want your customer to buy more at a reasonable price, whatever they think that is. And they're trying to make it where the customer will buy more. I mean, whether we want to believe it or not.
Well, and I'm like $4 over the average price. But Lag wanted to know what the product is. This is it. It's not a secret, but I got them in an estate sale. So I think if you buy them from the company, I'm selling this set for $78.99. So it must be lower than what the company is selling them for. But the company is also one of those, you sign up and you get them monthly. It's a subscription. So that might also be why people are buying them on. Yeah, I know I could trust you, Lag. That's why I showed you.
Yeah, so Beth's got a great point. Reseller, Rowboat. Todd, they could be looking for a general vintage jacket, and yours pops up due to promoted because it's going to promote that category. And then they go, hey, I like that one. They're just looking for something. I'm looking for a Vietnam era jacket, and yours comes up and promoted search higher in the list of Vietnam versus one that has specific.
That's why I promote everything, because even if you have the only one, there's still going to be a similar product that somebody's selling.
So the jacket sold to a Vietnamese looking name for $157.
Nice.
So
here's the thing with advertising. Who drinks Coke here?
Nobody.
I don't drink any soda.
Okay, Todd.
We got a Coke. How come you don't drink RC?
Does RC make diet?
Yes.
I ain't got a freaking clue. You know why? Because they don't freaking advertise.
When's the last time you saw an RC commercial?
That's what I'm trying to get to. You don't want to promote your listing? Be a freaking RC and stop bitching. I don't know what to tell you. You're in 2023. Back in the 80s, we did mass emails for porn that loaded slow, that took forever to get one image. Now, mass emails don't even work anymore.
For the record, he meant in the 90s. And he meant for the 90s. Folks.
And for the record, he did that, not me, and not Scott.
Yeah, there was no mass emails in the 80s. He means 90s.
Whatever. Old people.
Well,
listen, old people don't remember time. What I could tell you is I sold a lot of porn that way and made a lot of money.
There was a time when you could go into the message boards and spam the message boards, and you would make some. I did with when affiliate marketing was brand new. Nobody knew what it was yet, and you'd go in there, and I did it for a dating site, and I made money in it. I was making good money until everybody figured it out. But yeah, there was a time.
All right, so promoted listings. We talked enough about promoted listings.
But if you want to, let's add one more thing for promoted listings. You don't want to spend money on promoted listings. Start a social media channel dedicated just to advertising your eBay store,
and see how that works for you.
It'll work.
I've started setting one up, but
it takes a lot of work. So for the 5%, I let eBay do my work for me.
Okay, Marcia and I are looking into TikTok shops too, because that seems to be the next big thing.
So run a sale, number 3. Economic times are tough, folks, and people are always looking for a deal. I've got my store on sale right now. The one thing I can tell you about running a sale is we focus so much on what we sell the price for. People don't know their numbers enough to understand. I bought this stuff at a yard sale for pennies on the dollar, and I'm trying, and we have banged it in the heads of these folks. You can sell it for maximum of dollars online, and you forget to understand if you've got a $5 item that sells for $70 and you happen to put it on sale and sell it for 10% off at $63. The time value of money and flipping money and flipping and turning inventory, we don't talk about that enough. Turning your inventory, and do you want to keep it, hold on to it, or did you buy it? Did you buy it to sell it? Did you buy it to collect it? Are you real? I mean, look at how much better you are to take the 63 versus the 70, and move on to the next product. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I've actually got a little pile to donate today. It's only maybe $15 worth of stuff I bought, but I don't know the reasoning why I thought it was going to be good that day that I bought it, but I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to try and, I was talking to a friend yesterday. She's like, oh, why don't you put on Facebook Marketplace or do this or do that? I'm like, no, I want things that sell fast and it's gone. I don't want a stack of stuff. I don't want to go get a storage unit. I just want to sell.
I mean, there's a reason why you've got 30 some listings and have sold at what, $2,500. I mean,
I think I'm down to only like 25. I really haven't listed in a few days, and I sold one of those oil of Olay hair remover kits or something yesterday. I paid $8 for it, and I got an offer yesterday for $140.
So back in the day, Sue and I used to say one thing that, and she'll remember this, is it's okay to go in a store and leave with nothing. Sue used to say that a lot. You know,
one week. I went to 5 estate sales on a Friday, and I got nothing, but I had a great day the next day, and that used to happen to me on Amazon a lot. Like I'd go out of town to source, and it'd be like, holy crap, I got like 7 things today. I don't know. I might be exaggerating low, but I would feel like I had a really bad day. And then the next day I would have a great day. But that's a thing that when I go to an estate sale now and I'm looking at stuff, it's like, if I have to talk myself into how I could sell this, I'm not getting it. I'd rather have nothing than just this pile of stuff at home.
We had an RA trip like that where we spent 4 days on the road. One day we went to 17 stores and didn't buy anything.
Wow.
The next day, the same stores, same kind of store, and we cleaned up. So it happens, and it was okay. Did it suck? And were we a little depressed? A little bit, but it wasn't that bad. We knew that keep going.
Midlife Picker says just saw that money's going to get tighter for people, which it is. Jobs are going to continue. These job numbers are smoke and mirrors, folks. But all these big companies are laying off, lots of people. And, so that's why I have run a sale on there. If times are getting tighter, use is still going to be king, and people are really going to be looking for a deal. And so, that item that you picked up this weekend for $3, that if you get, instead of 30, you get 26, you put it on sale for 11% and got 26 instead of 30. What did you lose? You bought it to sell it.
Right.
If you bought it for $3 and you got $8 for it, you're over 100% profit. You can't get that from a freaking bank, and you better figure out how you're going to survive on those kind of margins, because it's coming quick that people are going to start taking those kind of margins.
I put some. So Harlan and I had this conversation. I put the whole store on sale. I'm still taking offers, and he's like, "Oh, you should take the offers off." I'm like, "No," because even at, I think I had it on 20% sale or whatever I had it on. Even if they wanted another few dollars off of it, I'm still going to take it most likely, because of I understand my numbers. I understand my cost. I might have a couple items I can replace it with. And so it's about Janet yelling. Anytime they open their mouth in memories, they're lying. I don't expect a recession. Usually means you're already in.
Ouch.
I look at it this way.
The market's falling hard right now.
I look at it this way. That stuff is sitting down in my basement, listed on eBay, and it's not making me money unless it sells. So, folks, and I've already paid for all this stuff. It's already all paid for because, I've made enough profit on everything else. I talked
to somebody the other day, Timothy Dole. You listened to me for a long time. I appreciate you hanging out with us. You've got to set yourself a set of rules.
Yeah.
This is 100% true. I used to talk about a lot when I was doing RA. People know, how would you know whether it's a buy or not? I would minimum 50% return. I had rules for even going under it. Well, I'll take less if I don't have stickers. How do you keep the clutter down? Set a hard line on rules. If you're going to yard sales and you want a $20 minimum sale, don't buy the item that's only going to sell for $15. You've got to learn to walk away from it. Or heaven forbid you figure out to pair it with 2 items and get it above your 20. You know what I mean? Figure if it's an item that you truly think will sell fast. Can you increase them? This camera is not working a lot without the battery. The battery is dead. I got the battery to come on long enough to test it. It'll be here tomorrow. This camera is worth, I paid $1. It's worth $125. But I know I didn't want to put any money into it. I didn't know it worked. I know it works. When's the last time you saw a Pentax digital camera? They didn't make a lot of them. 16 megapixel Pentax.
First one I've seen.
I paid $1 for it, or $2, whatever it was.
Oh, and I also bought my first parts thing last week. So I bought a Krups espresso maker for $6.40. It was 20% off day.
Yeah,
And
you're still having feedback, John. So I hit the mute just because they're saying something.
so I looked it up, and the espresso maker itself sells for like $25, but the little tray that goes in the bottom is $12. The little handle thing that you put the coffee in is $14.95. The covers are $20 each. And when I got home, I realized it tipped over in the car and the lid came off. I realized, oh, there's the whole water container thing too. So I can probably make $50 out of that. And the parts sell on that every single day.
So I've got one that. So John was really talking about this. Was it last week, John? You were talking about the parting out. So I'm gonna try an experiment. So this lid goes to a Ninja.
Uh-huh.
I paid $25 for the machine. The lid is worth $56. This is the extra lid that goes to it that makes it makes it a pressure, makes it whatever it does.
Pressure cooker.
It's in my pile to get listed today. So here's the machine. It's the Ninja. So the parts, that other lid is worth I think about 25. Somebody got the basket. The basket they got like 22, but the little thing here on the bottom, I think it's worth like 17. The little fins that hold it. Somebody sold the inner for 14 or 15. This whole piece does not sell because there's some Ninja comes out with something new every 10 minutes. But there were some people that would even take this farther apart and sell the handles. They sell the power wire. If you look at the parts, don't assume that it's just a few parts that come off. With a screwdriver on the bottom, you can take this whole thing apart. Really understand when you're looking at parts. How much of that, don't just, maybe you get a good idea like a coffee maker that the carafe and the water tank and the lid are worth this, or the little tray on the bottom. But really, really understand that some people, the wires short out. They know they've got dachshund puppies like we do who ate all the. Phoebe decided when she was a puppy that her favorite thing to gnaw on all the toys laying around. No, the electric blanket cables. I love them. All 4 electric blanket.
I sell a lot of those.
She got all of them. And if you don't pick up electric blanket cables, or at least look at them, what are you doing? Are you a reseller?
If you're in the Goodwill bins, they're always in there.
Oh,
always. And I don't even look at the brand name. I just buy them.
But if you're interested in parts and selling for parts, skim through last week's show. John had a really good idea for a business model. I mean, that was.
Oh, I'm working on it.
It's
really some time.
I'm telling you right now, with the tightness and the recession coming, use is getting even more. And the days of people paying top dollar might be going away. But how do you? So that item that sells for $15, what if you bought that same item, and broke it into 3 parts, and those all sold for $9 or $10 a piece? Now you've got an item that you spent $3 for. It's into the 20s. Because you'll be amazed how many people. So I just did it. Yes, I don't know why I didn't think about this. So I just did this. I just lived this life in the last couple of days. On eBay, I bought a night owl security system. Does everybody know what they are? If you've been in Walmart, they've got the little hard drive. This one had a terabyte hard drive. It had 3 cameras. I don't know where the 4th one went. It's supposed to have 4. It had four sets of the 100-foot video cable that were still saran wrapped up. They'd never been used. The remote and something else. I listed all those 2 days ago or 3 days ago. They all sold in 48 hours. Somebody gave me $68 for the base unit plus shipping. One person bought all 4 of the wires for $143 for the wire. I couldn't have got $143 for the whole thing together,
Right.
and just the wire. So now we're at 200 in sales. Somebody else bought the cameras for 79. So this 4-camera white owl system, I'm pushing $300 in sales. I still got the remote to sell. It's still over there. How many of you would have taken the $80 or $90 and been happy? That's maybe a business model. But when I looked it up, I immediately saw, oh my God, look at all this craziness. How if you separate it out, the parts of this thing are worth way more. So it might have been, this one was not $399 Mad Snapper. This one was the 4-camera. The 8-camera is the one that I think is $399. This one might have been in the mid twos. But how do you get full retail value of it again? Sell the parts. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and not just that, but like especially with that Krups maker, it was heavy. I mean, it was a little hard for me to carry out to the cart because I'm much weaker than I used to be. But those parts were all weighed nothing.
So the other point was the guy who bought all the wire also bought the camera. So I had one guy buy. Not only did he buy multiple items, because the cameras were a lot of were the cameras a lot of 3? I put the cameras up individually. He bought all 3 cameras and he bought all 4 wire. So not only did he buy multiple, but he also bought multiple items and multiple of each.
I sold 4 items overnight. Two sales or replacement parts for things out of the 4 I sold overnight.
You sold something on eBay?
Listen, all I want
I sell something every day, even though I'm.
Spell my name
quality
right
items listed.
Freaking checks, guys. That's all I want.
I have quality items listed, but this one is a Pokemon Monopoly replacement houses and hotels. You want to know a secret? They're the same as the other hotels. They don't look any different, but they came out of that game, so I listed them that way, and they sold. Not for a lot, not a great deal of money. $8, $6, $10, but they weigh nothing, and you can ship them cheap. And then I sold a replacement mug for a cappuccino creamer frother thing. There's your that I got for $1.
There's your answer in the chat, John.
So I was at another estate sale, and it was like kind of a mansion, and they had a Wolf stove. And in all the stuff they were selling, I found brand new Wolf knobs because I guess a couple extra come with the oven. And I looked them up, and they sold for $35 each. So I put them in my pile of stuff, and she's going through it. And I said, there's a couple things that didn't have prices on them. And she picks up those knobs. She goes, oh, this goes with the oven. I can't sell those. Well, the oven they had there, they were selling the house, and the oven had all the knobs to it. But
okay, so
I got all excited, but they didn't let me buy those.
There's someone watching who sent me a message saying, I agree with you on parts. They sent me a message on eBay. They have 100% feedback. 477 people follow them. They've sold 18,000 items on eBay.
Wow.
And they sell parts. Folks, I'm telling you right now, other folks do, when you think of parts, a lot of people think of car parts. But, I mean, they break. Okay, so here's another good example. I paid $3 for this at a yard sale. It's just a Corning bowl. It's one of the small ones. They're from the 70s. Why did I buy this? Normally, is this worth $20?
Your wife told you she wanted it.
My wife likes Corningware.
It's not Pyrex, John.
Corningware makes Pyrex, but this is not Pyrex. Anybody who saw Reseller Emeritus or on his show, y'all be quiet. Why did the beard buy this? Is it worth $20 to anybody?
The lid.
Damn, so you're fast.
That lid's probably lost a lot.
The lid is worth over $20, folks. The lid, because they get melted, because people will, instead of using the glass one, this is made for storage. It's got a little vent here. The lids are, I've got 4 of these. The lids are like $23 just for the lid. Because they're plastic.
Marsha, almost everything Marsha's been selling lately, because we're not listing currently, is parts of something. Besides the secret product, everything else has been parts. Because she focused on when we went to the bins. That
Lag wants to know.
Get that for you. The secret product is, hold on.
it's no shock that I know if you watch her show, she's very.
Did y'all
good.
get that?
Yeah, I got it at parts and stuff. The lid, folks, the lid. You understand? Parts are not always, and that's one thing. If you start analyzing everything you see and go, well, I wonder what I can sell that for. It makes you think different. It makes you look at this. When I looked up whatever this is, it's got a number on it. God, if I can read it, I'll put it up on the camera. But there's a little number there. Okay, P43B. When I looked up P43B, I noticed there were some lids. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. A lid for the P43. And I'm like, when I hit completed, I'm like, these damn lids sell. What? And I'm standing there, and there's a brand new reseller beside me buying the real big ones and everything. And I picked up the 4 with lids on them. I'm like, same estate sale that had been going on for 3 weeks. That had this there still had the lids on it. A 3-week estate sale.
Of course they did, because nobody focuses on that stuff. Even me, I wouldn't know that particular lid was $20 unless I looked it up like you did.
I did have to pay $2 for this one, but I might get my
$2 whole dollars.
I had to pay $2 for this one. I might get my money back. Same estate sale.
You'll get your money back. I already know what that is.
I had never seen one with the Polaroid case.
I have not seen one with the case either, but
for those of you who don't know, this is an SX. This is an SX70 for $2.
Shit, I'd add an extra $20, $25 just for that case.
And so it was in the case. I've never seen one this clean, Steve. There's not a mark on the leather, nothing.
Wow.
No, I had one pretty close, but there was a few small scuffs on it.
Not a scratch on the aluminum. Nothing.
Wait till you find the Alpha 1.
I've had one.
I haven't yet to find one.
This was at an estate sale that's been going on for 3 weeks for $2, folks.
Yep. Because it's folded up like that, and it's in a case, and most people don't know what it is.
I saw it.
Every time I've ever found one, it's been folded up like that, and it's been under. The most I've ever paid for one is $20, but
I just bought
generally I'm getting it for $5 or less.
So
you would pay $20 for that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, if you're not following Farm Girl Scavenger Oil, she's got a video on Tupperware and a link to the PDF that has all their numbers. Gives out a lot of good information. Does a live show on Thursday nights that I forget to come say hello.
Isn't all Tupperware discontinued now? Aren't they shutting down?
I don't think so.
I heard they were shutting down.
Tupperware. I did buy some Tupperware too. Same mistake. So.
Or going bankrupt or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm not.
I had to buy these. They're not $20. I had to buy them because of my childhood.
Those things are cool.
They were $1. I'm like, you know what? That's
we had the salt and pepper shakers. We didn't have those.
Yeah, I'm like, we had these growing up. I'm like, yeah, I really gotta. And they, most of them are from use and everything are scratched up. These are not. These hardly have any marks on them at all. I bought two to show to Jacob. He's like, why didn't y'all just leave the mustard in the thing? I'm like, you don't understand. Tupperware in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s was king.
You know what I'm looking for, and it's not. I don't think it's Tupperware, but it's that coffee creamer that looks like a cow, but it has to be a very specific plastic one from the 60s and 70s. Because when my grandma died, my sister got the cow creamer, and I wanted it.
Brenda
because
says,
it sat on the table all the time. So I'm looking for one.
Tupperware is still going.
I'm not going to buy it though. Okay, I some reason I thought I heard. Maybe it's a different company I was thinking of.
I don't know where I was on the list, so let me bring the list back up. That was number 3, whatever that was. Oh, sale. I don't know how we got to all this. Number 4, which we already talked about, restart your promoting listings. The other one is list consistently. So last night I had dinner with Wing Night. Not everybody showed up, Harlan.
I wasn't there.
But Tracy and I were so Tracy's doing the 127 starting tomorrow. I am actually skipping the 127 because I just got too much stuff. I'm gonna do yard sales here instead, and because I've got 2 storage buildings still full. I've got a problem I need to deal with. But and so he understands that because he tries to list 5 items a day. And so what is he going to do on Thursday and Friday while he's out and about on Saturday? You can schedule your drafts. And so he has scheduled 5 drafts for each of the days to go so that he maintains that. Because I'm telling you, folks, if you've got 35 items to list in a week, if you list them all on Monday or if you list 5 a day, you will sell a lot more than listing them 5 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Intuition thinks if I get them up, it'll be more chance for people to see them. That's not the way the algorithm works. eBay, they reward activity. It's just been that way. It's always been that way, whether you agree with. And a lot of this stuff that I tell you and the panel tells you and the wonderful chat tells you, if you're listening and if you're not commenting, which, thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. It's because we've experienced all this stuff. It's not that it's not my opinion that I think that that's the way it should be. It's just the way it is. And so those items, 5 a day, will sell faster versus all 35 of them on one day. It just happens. Yeah, Noah says the same thing. Must list daily. It's just the way eBay. Even if it's only a couple, it doesn't. I haven't really found that there's a number. I have just seen you got to be doing something. A lot of them too is if you're altering listings or editing or all that stuff, doing something to your account.
You don't have to do anything to your account except for if you sell, it's still an action. I haven't listed in years on eBay. I don't even look at eBay. It's a redheaded stepchild to me.
But you also sell products to the same people over and over, and you've got products that from your suppliers that they're not going to be. You're not going to the store to buy this stuff.
But that's what Dusty did too. But Dusty did that in a different way. If you remember. Remember the doilies?
It's been a while.
But he listened.
You get but he had the doilies. He had things that sold every day, but he had quantity of.
I can tell you the one thing I do know is that if it's not listed, then it's not going to sell. Now, regardless of how often you list.
No, midlife picker, you're right. I should have banned whoever said that it was a false report from the press. I should have banned them immediately because we know the press would never lie to us, would never mislead us, would never tell you anything wrong, doesn't have an agenda, all that stuff. We know better than that.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, a true crime podcast, and the girl who runs the podcast, very nice girl and everything, but she said that's back when the newspapers told you what to believe. Basically, so what's changed? No, nothing's changed. It's not newspapers anymore. It's news media, but it's the same thing.
So that is that was a quick one for number. Listen, so now we're into the bonus section. So put your seatbelt on in order to get to the bonus section. The show will end for you unless you hit the thumbs up button right now. If you don't hit the thumbs up button, your broadcast will be cut short right now. Gen Fix, I think the USO is a distraction. When the president of the United States is when they're coming out with direct evidence that the president of the United States sold this country out to China, and I know. Look, we're gonna let's invent something else for Trump. Oh, wait a minute, that's not working. Bring out the UFOs. That little woman.
I don't think it's a distraction. I think that the UFO thing is more of a money grab for that particular program. I think they want funded.
So it's because you joined us, Noah. It's guaranteed. I should have this on the list somewhere. Watch the reseller report, and you'll have sales. I've had a couple of Amazon sales. So do you send offers if you're eligible to send offers? How many people take advantage? I'm not one who's taking advantage of that, but as I push farther into trying to make eBay the main one, it's one it's one, if I don't do something, I'll tell you. And I've not taken advantage of send offers. So that is one that I'm going to start using. So I know it works. People talk about it, Steve. Is it very effective for you?
Every time.
I wouldn't say every time for me, but I do get sales from it.
So when I sell something, send offers, I tend to do the products that I have a lot of the similar stuff, and those people come back and like my Olympic pins, for example. I'm not selling them for high money, but when I sell one, if I send an offer to somebody, they're going to look through the rest of my inventory and buy more, and that's been very successful for me. So if you've got a volume of certain types of items, it's probably a good idea to send an offer on one of them. You know, and plus things that have been sitting around. I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, but I tend to do it once a week, like on a Monday or something.
So I have an item that's off. It's available to send offers for, but it has no watchers. So I don't understand that one.
It won't let you send the offer.
Oh, it's just saying.
I don't know why. I don't know why it comes up that way. It does. For me too.
I was like, wait a minute. There's no watchers on that item, but I didn't try.
I've had a lot of success sending offers. I'm surprised.
Okay, but
I don't take a lot of money off.
Oh, well, here's a question I have. I sent an offer yesterday, and the person bought it right away. But she asked me if I could wait till Friday to ship it. And I have 1 day handling. So I was going to call eBay and ask them what to do. But what do I do?
I've done it before. They're not, if you could show eBay that they asked for it, they're supposed to take that.
I mean, it's in eBay messages. She said, please, can you not ship till Friday?
I would just contact I would ship it on Friday, then after that, contact eBay for business, or even before if you want to be proactive. But
because I don't. I don't have any dings so far, and I don't want a ding or whatever.
Oh, get the.
You don't care. Dings don't matter.
Listen, if score matters to you, go play a video game.
I'm terrible at video games.
Your scorecard in this business is one thing: money.
In Sue's situation, where she's only selling 35 items, or she's only got 35 items listed, that means her numbers are not going to be really high. So one ding could actually put her below standard. And then that will definitely affect you. Now, for Scott or even me, I still sell stuff every day. I don't care. If I don't have late shipments, but I do have. There are certain things like I can't find an item, so I cancel it. That kind of thing, and I don't even bother worrying about it. I don't say buyer selected cancel. I just cancel the daggone thing, and the ding doesn't matter that much to me. I never go below standard because I sell enough. But in Sue's situation, where she doesn't have a lot listed yet, that might be a different story.
Yeah, I think right now I have like 54 sales and 23 things listed.
All right, so everybody's talking about, I've heard over and over how well this is, so I will start sending offers today. So Noel says she sends them frequently, several times a day. So yeah, we're gonna get after it. So the next, sorry, I had to
wait. You want to send an offer? Put a QR code on every package you ship out.
I only have 26 things listed. I need to get my butt in gear.
So what do you want the QR code to say for go back to the store?
Send them right back to the eBay store.
For 10% off or something?
You don't even have to. You can do 10% off. You don't even have to do anything off. Just put a link back to your store. Sales is a numbers game. The more eyes that see your product will sell the product. So
that's why everybody probably start out number one, John. Yeah, we only get like half your words. Yeah, but he's 100% right. That's why I started off this number one with you can get more eyes on your product. He's 100% correct. It is about who sees it. So I've kind of blended this in, but it just kept coming back to it. You got to know your numbers. You got to. The random thought I had was, so if your sales goal is to say I want to sell $10,000 this month on eBay. Have you ever stopped and thought to yourself, do I have $10,000 available to sell? What does it take? How much inventory how many listings? What do I need to have available to sell in order to reach a sales goal? A lot of people set these sales goal, I want to do this, but then you look at their store and go, they're a Sue. They've got 30 items and you go, you don't have enough. I understand Sue is going to keep listing and keep her number there, but you can't say, if I got an average sale price of $30 and I've got 30 items, then I'm gonna sell $10,000 this month. It's probably not going to work. And I don't think people understand the numbers, and math is hard. I look at all these eBay listings and all the retail arbitrage folks, and I understand for most eBay sellers, math is very hard. They don't like math.
I have to take my leave. My car is done at the mechanics. So later.
See you, Steve.
I might be back.
We'll shed a tear for you. But it's, do you understand? Jacob says that VQ will allow you to insert a QR code on the packing slip. VQ is going to be something to keep your eye on, folks. It is going to be a game changer. Everybody's leaving at 9:15. Y'all act like y'all got something to do. What the hell? I don't worry about the defects this month. I give myself 2 days. I have 2 days handling. Will that change? Will I add some, maybe in order to get some of the discount for the next level up, maybe I change some of my items that I know are easier and I can ship out. But as of right now, I'd still do 2 days, not to worry about, because there's a lot of times that I'll be looking right at something and I can't see this mustard thing right here because the ketchup is in the way. And it takes till tomorrow to figure out what's behind it. It's just the way my mind works. But you got to have, if you want, but that goes for everything, knowing your numbers. I talked about it earlier. Understand what your profit is in an item. Can you put it on sale and take an offer on most items? So I guess John is carrying Steve to the car place. But it's we'll wait till he comes on there. Javis, that's a good point. How many people use QR codes?
I do, but not always.
I do too, but VQ is the new fulfillment from is VEEQO from Amazon owns it, and they're multi-channel fulfillment. Shipping for all platforms and everything in one place.
So Jen Fix says he has a QR code that allows the buyer to send him a direct message if they have a problem. I get really good feedback on that alone. So under the QR code, do you say, if you have a problem, click here or something like that?
Yeah, defects. I wish eBay would change that. Their punishment for a year is the problem I have with eBay is they run a double standard. I can accept an offer and then after 4 or 5 days I have to cancel it because what do they do to the buyer who does this shit, who doesn't pay? And also I get a few, maybe a couple a month that an eBay person buys something and they want to cancel it within like 12 24 hours. What do we do if we hold that seller to such a strict standard that we're going to restrict what they can do on our platform for a year? What do you do to the fucking buyer who does this shit all the time? I ordered this by mistake. You had to hit too many buttons to get to where you were. You didn't do anything by mistake. It might be regret. It might be whatever. It ain't a mistake. And this shit about your kid did it, I don't believe that for a minute. Not one time do I believe your kid did it.
You put a lot of energy in all that, Scott.
So what?
You put a lot of energy in all that.
By God.
Yeah, they discount that because, like the one that I had one yesterday or the day before, and it's an item they wouldn't relist, and so then I have to go back in and adjust the quantity. I have to stop my day to cancel the damn order and then to go back and adjust the listing and adjust the numbers on it because somebody claimed they made a mistake. Does eBay track that and punish the customer? Yeah, an out of stock item, a year in purgatory. Yeah, it's awful. I think they need to be more transparent. So, that would help out a lot. If they were a little more transparent about how they treated customers and, how they supported sellers by taking care of problem customers, it would go a long way for eBay for settling down their sellers. And because there are so many people that think every time I mention something about eBay, I'll get comments on the video. eBay screwed me. That's why I quit selling. Does eBay understand that the name of the game is they are the middleman. They need sellers and buyers. They need them both.
Yeah, I shipped something out that was supposed to be delivered yesterday, according to USPS. And they got a note saying late, it's going to be late now. So they sent me a message like, what am I supposed to do? It's the post office. I'm hoping that she'll just get it today and maybe I won't answer till tomorrow. Because I don't know what to say. What am I say? Well, it's the post office, not me. It's pretty obvious. She's all the way in California and I only shipped it Friday or Monday. I think Friday.
Yeah, looking at geography is also another hard one. I had a guy who bought something Friday, and Saturday or Sunday started sending me messages, and I didn't get. He's got a foreign name. I didn't get a message saying what he was sending me screenshots of the order. I'm like, what the hell do you want, dude? You got to at least ask a freaking question. I got 3 messages with screenshots of the order. I'm like, the last one I finally had enough. I'm like, you actually have to ask a question. But did I have another one? Okay, number 9 might be the biggest mistake that the eBay sellers make, and it's a detriment to your. I think it is a symptom. A lot of the stuff we've talked about up to this point, and the number 9 is the last one. I don't know what we'll do for the last 30 minutes. eBay sellers celebrate how many listings they have. Like the goal is to get 3,000 listings or some, it's like it's some milestone that you join, like the Mile High Club or something. And it's, I've got 3,000 listings. Okay, so what's your sell-through percentage? And how many of these 3,000 are you selling? I don't care if you've got 3,000 listings if you only sold 30 of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1%, folks. When I hear somebody say they've got 3,000, if they're not a postcard seller, if they're not like the fellow who sent me a message who's a part seller, who you need a lot of listings because you need a lot of. But if you're just a regular seller like me who sells random stuff they find, my first thought is they can't pick worth a damn. They buy and sell all the wrong stuff. You need to have it's a fine line. You need to have a number of listings that support the sales goal you have, but the number of listings have to have a sell-through percentage that supports that. Listings for listing's sake. Dusty was doing very well as a postcard seller. He had a lot of postcards up because that is a niche that takes a lot of stuff. But if you randomly sell lots of odd, strange stuff, like that jacket right there.
This only took 2 years to sell.
2 years. Wow. Mr. Sadie, I'd use it as an example. I didn't say it was good or bad. Mr. Sadie's upset that we mentioned the Mile High Club. He thinks in a negative manner. Craig, cameras don't sell. I can't keep them listed fast enough. This one, I got a feeling this one will sell extremely quick. It's in beautiful condition.
Yeah, it is.
So the one thing, so I jump started the battery. If anybody is interesting to know, I watched a video on how to So the battery on this thing, if a lithium battery goes completely dead, it won't charge for the most part. That's why they tell you with your cell phone, do not let your cell phone completely die. It's one of the worst things you can do for a cell phone because you're taking a chance on that lithium battery not taking a charge. And what's the problem with that? Let me see how to get the. Let me see if I can crack it open to get the battery out of it. It's not a simple fix. And so what I did was I watched the video. I took a 9-volt battery. I think I still got the things over here. Okay, positive and negative. Alligator clips on a 9-volt battery. I held the negative down, and for 30 seconds, you just tap the positive on a battery. I know I've shown that before, but Beard, how'd you know which one it was on every battery? You got 3 of them.
Okay.
The outside are positive and negative. So I put the black one, the negative on the battery, and held my finger down like this. I'll hold the wire on it, and then I tapped the positive for 30 seconds. It went from 0 volts to like 2.2. But that was enough to take it off of 0, battery charged. But the battery had an issue with the battery because after it finished charging, it swelled up a little bit. Must have been too much Viagra for the battery, but it still fit in the camera and it still worked. The camera came on and everything, so I ordered one, and I got it out. I got the other one out, but it also works with lithium. If you've got 2 lithium batteries, like 2 drill batteries, and one of them won't charge because it's blinking like issue because it completely died, and that's the worst thing you can do to it. If you hook 2 of them together and let them sit for 15 or 20 minutes, they will equalize out, and then you will be able to charge the other one. I watched the video on that one too because I kept getting the wrong video until I finally put camera battery into search, and then I found this little fella, and the video had like 19,000 views and like 20 likes. I'm like, what's wrong with people? This guy has made a video that helped me out.
Yeah.
So I was like number 20. I'm like, and it was a short video. I appreciate him getting to the point, 3 minutes.
Yeah, because I got a Sony Handycam last week, and I just yesterday plugged it in, and it charges right on the camera. But
yeah.
I mean, it's old, but that's probably why it said fully charged, but when I unplugged it, the camera works plugged in, but if I unplugged it, it said, or it wouldn't turn on. So I know, but I didn't realize that if you just didn't charge something for a long time, that would kill it, sort of.
Yeah, so the batteries, that's the worst thing.
I knew that for a phone. I guess I just didn't think about it for like the Handycam or whatever. But oh my gosh, the Handycam came with the original strap still in the package. Got the remote for it. It should go for $70, but I'll probably get a new battery for it.
And I think a lot of people watch a lot of these videos on their phone, and it's if you're watching on a computer, the like button's easier to hit to me and watch it on a computer. Or heaven forbid you're like me inside. I watch if I'm eating dinner or whatever, we don't have cable or anything. I watch YouTube on the big screen. And so it's a complicated, it's a process to get up to a thumbs up if you're watching on a TV. So that might be some of it too. But yeah, that battery trick got me excited about this camera working. This was a strange one too, because if you look at, you're used to cameras having buttons up there and buttons on the back. How many of them have a button on the side?
Oh wow!
I don't know what it's for. If it's just another one that they'll do zooming back and forth, because it's got 2 zoom buttons, but I'm scared to put the battery back in there because it was kind of hard to get out. Yeah, but that was a good one. And that estate sale, instead of just looking through all the cameras, they were all $1 each. I just bought all 14 of them. When I pull those 2 out, I'm like, I'll just take the rest of them. Worst comes to worst, I will run them as a lot at the auction. Somebody will buy them. There were a couple couple Canons I've never seen before, so they're worth okay money.
That was like that jewelry I bought. He said it was the end of the estate sale. He goes, you can have any of that for $1 a piece. And I bought the ones with the tags. Those were the ones that really don't sell for anything. It was the other two that, sold for really big money. Would you say cameras are a seasonal product, Scott?
No, they're evergreen.
I thought so too.
There's not a time that people. I mean, you're only gonna use cameras at Christmas, but what about vacation in the summer? What about family get? I mean, so there's people buy cameras. I got to list them. That's generally the that's generally my issue. Is I have so many of them.
So we were talking earlier about, you were looking at that Corningware nobody else was looking at. And I literally went to an estate sale just because I saw this in the picture. This is the thing I was talking about I sold last night. And I get to the estate sale and people are running for the video games and the Pyrex, and I'm running to the bathroom and the garage looking for Johnson's paste wax.
You know how many of those I've sold? Those things are incredible money and they sell fast.
Yeah. Well, mine didn't sell that fast, but I had it listed for $149. It took 3 weeks maybe, but I got an offer yesterday for $140. I'm like, yes. But it also, when I got it at the estate sale, I was like, oh my gosh, it's empty. It weighs like 2 ounces.
Yeah, that is not.
And I looked on eBay. I looked at one of the listings and it showed the inside of the box. It's literally like two little tubes of nothing. But yeah, I found a new bowl at an estate sale because I've sold the Johnson's paste wax. I can't remember the name brand, but it's bowling alley wax. But it's the same little tin and can, just like the Johnson's paste wax. Mm-hmm. And I bought it for $1 and they sell literally like 35. I mean, if it's new, it's like $50. Mine was like 2/3 full. So.
Yeah, chemicals at an estate sale. People ignore chemicals. They ignore the bathroom. It's a lot of us.
I mean, they get to it, but they don't run to. I mean, like I said, they run to the.
You could have picked up that on the last day. Nobody would bother that.
Well, that sale I drove like 25 miles. I went down to McDonough for this sale, or Lake Spivey. It's in McDonough, I think. But it was a 12,000 square foot house. I got all, like, I spent $240 and pretty much everything was this kind of stuff. It was face serum and L'Oreal cream and Ziploc bags, but it's the ones that you can pump up the
steamer ones, or are they
the ones that you get the little tube and you can pump them, shrink. What you call it? It's like the food saver machine.
Right.
At one time, Ziploc came out with you got the little pump and it sucks the air out.
I sold those out when they had. I think they finally closed them out at Ollie's. I sold a bunch of those.
And I mean, it was all that kind of stuff, bags of that stuff. And I've sold, but we were talking earlier about, you said something about get your money back quick or whatever. So what I've been trying to do is track, like I spent $240 at that garage sale, that estate sale. That one took me a little longer, but it was probably 2 weeks before I made all my money back. So then the rest of it's all profit. So I try to list at least a few things that's going to get me my money back pretty quick. And then I can take my time. And I mean, I don't want to take too much time, but I like to get my money back quick, like what I spent there. And then all the rest is profit.
But you got to be careful following that method. It leads to death piles if you don't eventually get it. If you don't have a plan to get it all. I'm just telling not you, but for everybody else. That might be what happened to all the stuff you see around you. Most of it, people go, but I'm like, yeah, but I've sold the stuff that made the money in the lots, and I have no money left on most of this stuff.
Well, I stopped yesterday, and I didn't have any, I just started doing this, and I didn't have any manner of organization, or even where my eBay stuff was going to be. I brought it in the house into the basement, and then I brought it up to list, and it ended up here or there. So I literally spent all day yesterday just organizing my porch and putting that stuff together that I'm going to donate. Because some of it was some stuff I had listed on Facebook Marketplace way too long ago, before I kind of started back to eBay. And so I really haven't listed anything this week yet, because I spent the time doing that. And I know it was important to do, but I'm like, okay, should I skip going to estate sales this weekend and get everything caught up? No, I can't. I just can't do it.
So, no, was this on your list? I got 4 of these in the estate sale for $1 a bottle.
Clorox, what's it say at the bottom? Scuba?
iRobot Scuba.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even look it up on Amazon. Okay, so I should have, because I'm about to list it on Amazon. Let's look up Keepa, because there's none on there. Search.
I just sold 230 pennies for $25.
Oh my gosh. How much does that weigh?
The last one on there, surely it's more than freaking 35. They got $35 for it on Amazon, was the last one. But yeah, that's what you want to see. It's been up in the 70s. Why that person there decided, unless maybe it's a price alert, who knows? But this stuff, it's 70. So let's list it real quick. Damn phone, come on.
Damn phone.
Sell it.
Yeah, wheat pennies.
List it. My price. Oh, we'll go $69.88. I've got 4 of them. They're all new. All right. We'll see what happens. It didn't tell me. Normally, it'll tell you if it's too high. So it did not. So yeah, that's it's that's the stuff. How do you, at an estate sale, you're 100% right. People don't look at DVDs. People, for the most part, don't look at books unless there's some special books. I walked into the thrift store yesterday. What the hell did I drive? Oh, I can't go. They're in Johnny's car. They're locked. A 3-book set. It's a $50 set. The sell-through rate's tremendous. It must be 500%. Okay, so it looked like about 80%. And that's a $40 set. And they're heavy. They're heavy. They're like little bricks. Trying to think, where did I put the key to Johnny's car? I'll run up there and get them. They need to come in here anyway. I got to take the pictures. But they're somebody's Civil War set, the 3-book set, and they're all thick books. I just looked at them because I buy a lot of Civil War books because it does well at the local auction. We live down here in the heart of the South, where for the war of Northern aggression. Yeah.
Well, Robert's asking, any old wheat pennies?
Yeah, I put in the description 1910 to 1950 or whenever they quit them.
Oh, so it doesn't matter what year then?
I just put in there 4 decades represented, 1910, 1920, 1930, whatever, that type deal. So yeah, somebody trying to fill their penny collecting book.
So how many was that you sold?
230.
And what'd you get for it?
$25.
Yeah, I've got I've got 7 rolls in the truck that I keep meaning to leave at the auction. So that's what.
So what is that?
350.
10 cents a piece I got, something like that.
But it's a matter of, do you know the value in items that other people don't know? It's how you can go to yard sales until the end, because people just don't associate certain things with value. Especially, if you're a parts seller, that's the time of the day where everything up there. If you're going to sell coffee makers and any kind of kitchen parts, and you're looking for parts, you can get those things for nothing. That's stuff that's been sitting in the driveway all day. There's a point in the day where it's usually between 9:30 and 10, where either Harlan, one of us will say, "We just passed the point of full price." From this point forward, we buy nothing for full price. Everything gets an offer, no matter what it is. If it's $2, you take $1. It's going to be. It's a rule that you've passed the point, especially down here. Last Thursday it was 8:30, because at 8:15 everything was normal. Well, it's a little warm. At 8:30, it felt like we had walked through the gates of hell. And so we're like, that's this hot. If we're this hot, just think about the people who are just standing in their driveway. They want to be done with this. They will sell it to you cheaper right now.
No, I don't think there was a 1910 in there. There was some 1919s, 1918s, bunch of 1920s.
You're right. Everybody and their brother wants video games. Everybody wants, especially the. So this is, y'all going to say beards are racist. A lot of the Mexicans here buy shoes. I don't know why. I guess they send them home, but they buy a lot of shoes here. You see it at a lot of yard sales. I don't know if that's anybody else's experience, but if they're nice shoes. I accidentally last week bought a pair of shoes. I thought they said $2, and when I paid for it, they said $20, and I'm like, damn it! I can't believe I paid $20 for these shoes. Turns out they are some fancy ass brand new Asics that are worth. They new cost $164, so I'm like, okay, I forgive myself for that one. But
I was watching a video yesterday at Dad Planet, and he found a pair of, I'm going to screw up the name. They were Nike Air Jordans Cactus Jack, and he's getting them authenticated, but he paid $5 at Goodwill, and they're going for $1,200.
So I thought they said 2. I don't know how I missed the 0.
Oh,
They said 20. But these bad boys are beautiful.
well, they are in nice shape.
I mean, they are new. They've not been worn, but that's $160 pair of Asics running shoes. They've got that fancy, almost like the Nikes were on the back. Oh yeah, Harlan's right. So Harlan says, don't make the mistake of telling him to make an offer. It needs to go. Because we'll get in the van and start laughing. That's why people would hate us. That's why I can't do van videos inside the van, because we'll just start laughing. I'm like, I knew when he said make him an offer that he was about to get little to nothing. You tell Harlan prices are negotiable, you just drop. I'm still. I guess it's the introvert in me is still doesn't. I'll do some things. I have some kind of unrealistic version of what is fair, so I'll make. I don't know. Whatever it is, but if he, yeah, Harlan has none of those concerns.
No shame.
And I'll pick up something too. And you've got to have people around you that I'll say, you think this will do right at auction? And he'll say, how much is it? I'm going to 10. He goes, yeah, it'll do much better at 5. Go offer him 5. I mean, he'll put me up to it, and it becomes a challenge. I'm the worst. If I think the deal is pretty good, I don't make it better. But that happened last week or the week before last. Harlan's like, yeah, but it'd be a lot better at 5. And I'm like, all right, you take 5? Yep. And we get in the van. He goes, I told you, don't pay too much.
I got 5 unpaid items. Shh.
It's been bad. I've got 3, and I canceled a couple yesterday. Um, and they were all on people that made offers. I'm like, what do you make an offer for if you're not going to pay? Why do I have to put in my credit card information and pay ahead of time? But I get all these people that don't. Do you think eBay can fix that? They've had 2 years of promising to fix that.
Yeah.
And how can you do it for some accounts but not for others? Come on. That is the worst they can say is no.
And eBay makes you wait like 4 business days before you can cancel for buyer unpaid.
So we got 15 minutes. So those of you in the chat, what would you do? What are your tips for, I've given you 9 things we talked about small things you can do to increase your eBay sales. Did I miss anything? Is there anything extra you do? This is the participation part of the program.
I think the best thing I've learned through the years now is buy the stuff that people want to buy from you. You grow your knowledge base as you do it over however much time. I'm still learning, learn what sells and don't buy what doesn't sell. Yeah, I could stock up the store with Beanie Babies and
Oh my God, I see that at every single estate sale now.
I know.
And I literally went to one where they were $5 a piece.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking you couldn't give those away.
So, yeah, just do this long enough, listen to enough shows to where you learn. That's my big.
That was scary.
Just look up everything.
That was scary. Just, I don't know. Farm Girl's been doing this for years and years and years, so she's forgotten more about reselling than most people will ever learn. Go watch her show. You'll learn a lot of stuff you never knew.
Who is that again?
I learned more about pearls in one of her shows than I could even imagine.
Okay, so no, you don't realize she does put out a lot of great information. I'm glad she's been showing up in the chat the last few weeks. I could barely watch your show this past week. I need to complain. You know how hard it is for someone with a demented mind like me to watch you talk about pearls and not make pearl necklace jokes? Oh my God. I finally had to quit watching. I'm like, the jokes were giving me a headache. I'm like, all these jokes need to escape. I even sent Todd a message. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I want to make a pearl necklace. He didn't even answer me back. What the hell?
I didn't see that message after the show was over. It was funny though.
So you should appreciate how good I was in your chat that I didn't derail you. And yeah.
Yeah, is your strand knotted?
Okay, I'm going to change the subject. Yeah, I think we forgot to talk about multiple quantity listings.
And taking advantage of so if you have multiple quantity listings and don't take advantage of the discounts that you can provide, understand the shipping savings alone. If you just give up some of that and encourage them, you get full price on 2 items.
Mm-hmm.
That's people go, I'm like, wait a minute, I want them to buy 2, even if I give them 15% off, but that equals the a lesser shipping. Yeah, it was high too. So there's that. I absolutely. That's another way too that, I have a rule in my head that, if there's an item that's, reasonably priced with a good return, but it only makes $15, but there are 4 of them, I see that as making 60. I don't see that as making 15.
Well, interestingly, I have it on these, but since I don't want to do the 15%, I only list 3 at a time, so somebody can only buy. I've only had one person buy two
But you can
sets.
do, but you can change that number. It doesn't have to be 15. It can be 10,
Yeah.
6. So I normally change it. I think mine are set up as 8, 12, and 15. So if you buy 8, if you buy
Okay.
2, it's 8. I mean, by 1 is 2, it's 8. 3, it's 12, and 15% savings for the if you buy 4. I think that's why I've got it set up.
And
Yeah, all my bigger earnings, if you want to buy 3 or 4 of them, you save money. Even though it should go the other way because it takes a lot more fabric, but that's anyway.
Right.
learn your shipping too. It's like the pennies weigh 1.5 pounds. It would cost $8 to ship it on Ground Advantage, and it's $7.60 in the flat rate envelope. So why don't I save the 40 cents? I'll go right in there.
I
And you
never
get a
really used
free
much.
package. You get free
Yeah.
package in person, have them buy your own box or use one of your
Yeah.
boxes.
I save 40 cents on the label and however much for the free packaging.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Is it's not about increasing sales, but it can increase your sales because if you understand your numbers and understand what it costs to ship you, worst case scenario, you really and you hone that in. It really allows you to, um, that's why sometimes I use a lot of calculated shipping on items 2 pounds or more because if I know the shipping is covered, I can take offers, understanding
Mhm.
that if you want it, if you want my $50 item for $40, I know I'm not worried about did I just lose because I'm shipping it to California. You know, it really takes some of the. But also, if you're going to do that, you need to be very accurate with your shipping, because that can be a negative if you have calculated shipping that is not accurate and is charging too much. Um, so be very, very intentional with your shipping. Understand that it can help you. It can help your sales by honest, accurate shipping helps your sales. So many people, oh, but I made an extra so and so on shipping. Uh, you also chased off 100 customers before you got to the one that was foolish enough to pay you.
Yeah, lag, I saved 40 cents. It's my 40 cents. I want to keep my 40 cents.
Yeah, I'm right.
Diane says use templates if you sell a lot of the same item to speed up your listing.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, I don't use a lot of the same items, so that's why I didn't make my list, because I sell such random. But so Jacob, whenever I give in this box of remotes, that might be a good thing to do, is to come up with a template for him to list the remotes, because I've got a bunch of them. A bunch of them. Lag said he's still confused. What are you confused about this time? Last week, Lag, you were confused about which bathroom you should use. But the one thing it shows me is, we got 9, 10, 11 things we talked about today. Not everybody is an expert on all of them. And, I've told you I don't use the offers, and I should be using, that's my own. But I challenge you to get good at all of them. Get good at, coming up with systems, putting systems in place, using a schedule, using reminders. Uh, you know, Phones are a great thing to keep your reminder. Set a weekly reminder, or all these apps like the Notes app or the Reminders app on your iPhone. If you wanna adjust the promotions every day, tell it to remind you every day. It takes 21 days to create a habit. If you want to set sales or redo sales or look at stuff once a week, put a reminder somewhere that triggers you to remember. You get busy. Special things come up. The 127s this week. Uh, you get crazy. I got so distracted. I didn't make any of my listings last night because I got distracted on another project, which hopefully will be a great video come out in the next couple of days. Okay, so I'll get it tomorrow. So Friday or Saturday maybe. Uh, just a crazy video. You're not gonna believe how dumb I was. But anyway, yeah. But there's distractions everywhere, and to keep you back online and to keep you. That was one thing I missed Dusty's influence. He was the king of no distractions. He had his phone set up where there was no notifications, no nothing. He had Facebook set up with no notification. There was nothing because he understood himself, and this is a great understand yourself and understand what drives you, understand what distracts you, what your shiny objects are. If it's just think about it. If you're in a groove listing, because remember the first listing is the hardest one. The rest of them are you're just going through them. But if your phone beeps for an email or a message or whatever, if that bothers you, you know these phones are programmable where you can tell it from certain times, do not bother me. You can set up exceptions. Johnny's the exception. No matter what I do to this phone, her phone will ring. Her text will come. You can set up exceptions for people. Yeah. But yeah, understand what your distractions are. Do your best. Technology is great. It's also very distracting. Use it for positive. Use it for. Damn it! I can't believe this shoe. These Merrills, man, don't buy Merrills. See how this thing is coming off? It's starting to come loose. I've had these for like 6 years. You think they would last longer?
They got glue for that.
I know. I'm gonna epoxy it or something. Yeah, whiskey seems to follow you around, Harlan. Weren't you day drinking at work the other day?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
This will glue any shoe in America.
See, there goes a.
How did I learn about this? I saw it on a YouTube video. Guy reselling a pair of shoes.
Your package has arrived at the warehouse, but it cannot be delivered due to an incomplete address. Click on this link.
Oh, right.
There's no www, just USPS-fast.com. From an international number. I was born at night, just not last night. I would never say yes. I can't stand margaritas.
Yeah, me neither.
Where's your no button?
Well, even before I didn't drink, I didn't like margaritas.
So, Brian, what's in Tuscaloosa on Sunday?
So how far down does the 127 go to Chattanooga?
Gadsden.
Oh, Gadsden. Okay. I'm kind of itching to do that, but it's too hot. I don't know. My girlfriend lives up in Ohio, and she's going to do Western Ohio. So I think next year we'll try to do it together.
So, holy cow! So Saturday they've got 3 doors down, and then Sunday they've got Jason Aldean. It might be time to go to Tuscaloosa. All right, we're at the very end. Any questions, concerns, ideas?
Good show.
Yeah, we had a lot of tips today.
Don't let the thumbs up hit you on the butt on the way out.
There you go, right there. I would not miss wings and beer with Scott for just jelly roll. I appreciate that, Larry. Yes, Jen Fix, you have to. It's time to go to work, folks. I would go see Three Doors Down before I went to see Jason Aldean. That's just me. They're one of my favorites. All right, so there was another distraction. See, I just got distracted by the phone. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us. I hope this give you a lot of ideas today. Go out and have a great sales day. Roll Tide.
Stay cool.
And Sue says goodbye.